What's it going to take to get, find, attract, keep a grounded, mature, masculine man in your life, ladies? That's the conversation we're going to take on with this session today. MGM. Mature, grounded, masculine, not just real man. Because I mean, that's by definition. That's one of the things we're going to dive into. By definition, everybody's saying where are all the real men at? Yeah, we get that. There are real men out there. What is it that's keeping them blocked from your dating life, from crossing your path? Why are you not attracting them? If you've had access to them, ladies, you know what it's like. And what happens that you lose them? What happens that they don't stick around? What do you want? What do you have to do to get what you want? Which is the commitment, which is the loyalty, which is having that MGM standard, right? We ain't taking it to Vegas, but I'm talking about mature, grounded, masculine men. It's going to take something, and that's what we're going to be doing in this discussion. So what do I mean by ready to keep a good man? And why do you need to be ready? You might be asking yourself that first. How is this man going to get on here and tell me what I need to do in order to get me a real man? Well, I am a real man, masculinity architect. I am a leader. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I know what I'm talking about. And I just want to help you find access to the other side to get what it is that you want. Disclaimer, this is going to be for my feminine women who desire the leadership, the loyalty, and the commitment of that MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man. The first thing I got to say to that, right? That disclaimer in the background. And I say that because men and women, a lot of people can jump into my content, and because divine masculine and feminine energy is not a common conversation, it's not a common topic, it's much more misunderstood. You may only hear about toxic masculinity, you may only hear about shadow femininity and all these things. And I just want to be clear that we are talking to the energies. I just want to be clear that I'm speaking to the average, the at large, the specific women looking to embrace and flow in their feminine energy, and with that understand that if they want to attract, align, and partner with a mature, grounded MGM, masculine man, they're going to need to follow a set path. These are universal laws. They're at play whether you understand them or not. So I'm just trying to break it all down, give you the information so that you can get what you want. Ladies, you are perfectly whole and complete as you are. I'm not here bashing. I'm not here insulting. I'm simply trying to prepare you to help you understand how you can have what you want, because you have to do the work to understand what's on the other side. If you tuned in last week to our live discussion, it was all about understanding men, manhood, masculinity, the male ego. Now I'm taking a step further. So you got the background, you know what to study up on, you understand the game that you're playing. Now, how do you get the mature, grounded, masculine men in your life? Get their loyalty, get their commitment, have them stick around. How do you understand them? And at the same time, how do you keep them? So the first thing you're going to have clear, every woman I help, every client I work with, you have to be clear on what you want. Why is that? Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And the most precious thing in all of our lives is our time. I think you can understand and agree with me, ladies, that you don't have time to waste, especially for your beautiful feminine. You have a biological clock. If you want family, if you want to leave a legacy, I mean, yes, there are expensive scientific methods and technologies out there that you can preserve those things. However, time is still of the essence. So let's just address that, the big elephant in the room. I don't want you to waste time out here. I don't want you to, have your fun if that's what you're there for, but do not waste time. Do not sabotage yourself. Do not keep yourself away from the things that you want because you've spent so much time with the distractions, the boy toys. And honestly, it's going to be a waste of your time because that's not actually what you want. Are you here for a good time or are you here for a long time? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. So once you get alignment and understand what it is that you want, this is the first step, because with that, it allows you to have alignment with yourself. It allows you to follow that beautiful, divine, feminine intuition that will guide you right and wrong, that will steer you. If you've seen content on this channel, remember that's Building the Architect, not on my Masculinity Architect channel to the TikTok. Building the Architect channel, all about divine feminine energy. Over half of the messages are about alignment because that is the work of the feminine energy. When you align, it gives you the internal GPS. It gives you the navigation to understand what is good, bad, right, and wrong, and which way is going to guide you to your truth, to what it is that you want. So that's always the first place I start with. Get clear on what you want so you don't waste any time. Why is that? MGM status that you're looking for, that mature, grounded, masculine man, is in rare form. So what that means is that there's a lack of information, there's a lack of experience, and therefore a lack of preparation Not only that, it's so rare, that means it's valuable, high demand. There's competition, and it is steep. So you don't have time to play, ladies. I'm in your corner. Do you hear this? Let's do it together and jump right in. You can't afford to waste your time with distractions. You can't afford to be ignorant to what it takes. You will mess around. They say, fuck around and find out if you want to. Find a good man in your life. And if you think a mature, grounded, masculine man, I'm going to lay out the whole MO so you can understand his mindset. But if you think he's going to wait around for you to catch up, he's going to wait around for you to get with the program, it's not going to happen, ladies, unfortunately. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't so much mass media propaganda, just lies and misinformation, misinforming you. And I'll tell you the biggest secret, mature, grounded masculinity is about more than a penis. It is about more than the physical form. It is about more than the presentation. Mature, grounded, masculine energy is in rare form. And when you know it, you will know it. It is unquestionable, undeniable. So you're going to have to, in your best interest, I'm not telling you what to do. I invite you. I give you the invitation with my divine feminine. It is up to you to decide if you want to humble yourself, to be ready to play the game. This is a secret that the men I work with absolutely know, because men, including this mature, grounded, masculine man, has to build himself up from nothing, meaning he has to learn you. If he wants a good woman, he has to learn what women want. He has to learn how to play the game just to get access, just to get dates, just to get attention and eyeballs. He's got to play the game. It's no different on the other side of the coin. This is one side of that equality that is absolutely right. Equal, but not the same. And inside of that, if you're going to play this game, you have to understand you equally are subject to the same conditions. It is a sexual dating market. If you don't bring the value that is perceived on the other side from that mature, grounded, masculine man, you're going to fail the test every time. I'm giving you everything you need to do to be prepared so that you can bag yourself that MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man. Not only that, get his leadership, get his loyalty, and the commitment to have him stick around in your life. Let's just understand each other, play this game so that we all win. First thing you got to understand about mature, grounded, masculine men. Like I already said, it takes more than a penis. What does that mean? Let's break down these qualities so that you can learn to decipher. The first thing I'm going to help you do is to clean up and fix your picker. Make sure that when you actually come across these MGMs, mature, grounded, masculine man, this gold standard, you actually know that it's something to hold on to for a reason. And with that, that's exactly where I'm starting. Mature, grounded masculinity is the gold standard. I tell fellas all the time, if you've got yourself grounded in your masculinity, you have yourself a black card in your back pocket. Socially, you cannot be fucked with. Socially, you are the top of the chain. And socially, ladies, tell me if I'm wrong. Drop a comment down below, please. When mature, grounded masculinity is present, when you feel that protection, when you feel that calm, that assertive energy, when a strong leader shows up. Notice, I'm not talking about anything physical. I'm not talking about his pockets. I'm not talking about his resources. I'm talking about the caliber and quality of man that shows up. When that is in your space, you feel that you get to just relax. Things are taken care of. It's all right. He's in control. He's got it. And you know what? With that, I'm going to follow. So that stands out from the crowd. On the other side of the coin, ladies, a mature, grounded, masculine man is made that way because he had to make himself. As men, starting from the jump, we are given nothing. And therefore, if you are looking for a man, a mature, grounded, masculine man, it's going to be evident because he's got character, because he's got qualities, because he's got virtue. So what this means is that what you see is what you get. And one of the core foundations of that is going to be that he's built up on his integrity. Now, I really want to underline this because it's not something fly by night. It's not something quick and easy. It's not something that can be deceived or made up. It is a brick by brick process. If a man wants to get stronger, he's got to go to the gym. Not 1 week, not 2 weeks, 2 months, maybe 2 years to see some solid gains, to actually have some physical form that makes a difference. If he wants to build himself financially, if he wants to have a career, if he wants to be of value to the economic market, he has to build himself up. He has to put the value into himself. He has to pick up his hands, pick up some skills, do something to be of value. He has to start from the bottom to build his way up. All these things take integrity. All these things take discipline, takes maturity, takes experience. So you're going to be able to see it. Why? Integrity just means that his word means something to him. With a MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man, there are only so many times where you need to test his word, and careful not to get burned on that. Because when you mess around and test him and he's a man of his word, you may fuck around, find out, and pass and fail the test. I don't want that to happen. So when you see a man where he is his word, take him for it. Take him for it and understand. And here's the best example. I tell this to the men as well. Imagine your father. If you've got a healthy, mature, grounded, masculine father in your life, I want to say that because, again, it's more than a penis, but imagine a father that raised you with good values, with good morals and beliefs. Maybe it wasn't even your father. Maybe it was an uncle. Maybe it was a pastor, some figure of authority with grounded, masculine energy. Integrity is important. The small details are important. It's all common. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if it is a man. We can be saying the same thing to a woman because it's a masculine trait. If that woman is driving in her masculine, that's how she's going to show up. That's how you do it yourselves, ladies, when you're in the boardroom, when you're taking over corporate America. It's all the same arena. That's a space of the masculine. So when a masculine man shows up, take him for his word. And if he shows you that his word doesn't mean shit, take that too. These are the qualifications. Remember, I'm helping you fix and recalibrate your picker. So we're going to need you to dial this in. We're going to need you to be clear as soon as boy toys, as soon as distractions, as soon as everything that does not align with the mature, grounded, masculine quality of a man that you want to be with. Oh, I'm out. Now, that doesn't mean that you cast them off. It doesn't mean that you cut them off. No need to do all that. Feminine has no responsibility. You simply withdraw that energy, withdraw that attention. Masculine's got experience. He knows his way around the block. He's been here before. So your feminine ways, they don't frazzle him. When you test him, he understands. He's grounded in his masculine. He's created his world. He lives in isolation. He's already leading his own life. So when it comes to leading you, oh, that's light work. So with that, you're going to recognize when your feminine emotions going all over the place. And no, I'm not making a hit to you. This is the energy. He has his divine feminine too. But inside of yours, a mature, grounded masculine is going to respect and appreciate your femininity. So many guys talking about, where's the femininity? I want a soft woman. I want a feminine woman. And I get this feedback from the women all the time. As soon as your emotions come up, as soon as you get emotional, as soon as you need him to take the lead, show up, solve a problem, do something, man up. Oh, you're in your emotions. Oh, I can't handle this. I'm overwhelmed. Now, don't get me wrong. I completely understand that that is a challenge for all men, even mature, grounded, masculine men. Dealing with the emotions of feminine is not what we're conditioned for. We're not conditioned for the additional communication, the extra words. Do you know, primitive times, men would actually communicate. The masculine hunters would communicate with grunts, sounds. Even today, we've got the whole symbols. Break off with some positions, break off left, go right. They don't have to say anything because all we need is the instructions. Execute, go forward. That's the world of masculine. So you have to understand that by default, men, masculine men, are not conditioned for all the extra communication, are not conditioned for all the extra emoting. Now, here's where your picker can decipher. That does not disqualify, because mature, grounded, masculine men have the experience, whether they've raised children, whether they've been around their mothers, aunts, other women, whether they've dated and have experience with feminine women, femininity. These things do not overwhelm him. He appreciates them because he spends his life as that grounded rock. So as the chaos is swirling, the problems, the ups and downs of life, the children, the women, whatever the case, he's seasoned, weathered those storms, and understands this too shall pass. I'm gonna sit here just like that rock, let it swirl, let it do whatever. And how does that translate to you? I'll tell you directly. Go ahead, cry. Go ahead, shout. Go ahead. Don't get me wrong. This is not a pass to get away with. That doesn't mean that you can be irresponsible with your behavior. Remember, I'm gonna tell you later, you'll fuck around and find out, because he also doesn't have the patience for it. However, he has the maturity and understanding where that doesn't deter him, especially when he sees what he wants in you. He'll do that work. He'll stay right there. He'll wrap you up, be right there in your eyes. What's going on, baby? It's okay. Hey, look, I hear you. He can be with your communication. He can process and assess the information you're giving him, the situation that's showing up in the dynamics of relating, dating, sex, whatever the case, and he mans up. He shows up. This is a distinction I love. He contains. Masculine energy is the container for the all of it when it comes to relationships. The whole swirl of femininity, everything that comes across the spectrum, the tears, the joy, the laughter, the sadness, the anger, whatever it is. And he's right there to contain it because, again, not conditioned for all that. For masculine, logical, pragmatic, straightforward, all that extra emotion, what do we need that for? He's thinking macro. Do we work or not? Are we compatible or not? That's it. The micro transgressions, the emotional ups and downs, the day-to-day, that's the world of the feminine. He is designed, bigger, badder, stronger, to contain all that. That we can have some emotional turmoil and he's not shooketh. He's not overwhelmed. He doesn't need a break from you for weeks. He can handle it. He can stay in it. It doesn't mean that he's a punching bag or something for abuse. He's not a nice guy at all, but he can be right there in that storm and love you just the same for the betterment, for the intention, for the integrity that he said, I got you. That's what a leader does. That's what a mature, grounded, masculine man does. So this is how you can vet. Your femininity doesn't sway him. Matter of fact, he appreciates it. He's actually doing the same qualification for you because a mature, grounded, masculine man, again, been around the block, understands that you're just testing. Whether you subconsciously don't even understand that, he understands enough that this is femininity. He is logical, so you are not. He is grounded, so you are flowing. He appreciates those differences and allows the space in the context of a relationship for y'all to yoke off of each other, yin and yang. It's a dance. Make sure you go pick up that free ebook and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Another thing you'll appreciate about an MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man, is he is direct. So what does that mean? He's clear with his words, clear with his actions. Now, that doesn't mean he has the answers for everything. But again, I spoke to it earlier. When he sees what he wants, no problems going for it. And no, that's not just a cat call. No, that's not going for the digits, shooting a shot. He understands that he sees a good thing in you. He's going to demonstrate it. He's going to initiate. He's going to move things forward. Hey, what you got planned going on Saturday? Hey, Wednesday, I'm going to be over here on this side of town. You free? I'd love for you to come join. There's no guesswork about it. You know, I really like you. I'm enjoying time. I could really, spend some more time with you. I'd like us to do this more. These are initiations. Feminine, you make the invitation, you make yourself available and open. A lot of times what happens is that women clients I'm working with are pushing the steps of initiating. Hey, let's plan a date. Let's move things forward. Yeah, we're in this talking, but I want it to go forward. I want to get to the commitment. I'm on the relationship escalator. That feminine over there, the frazzle, the swirl, the chaos, all that energy. And your divine masculine says, I need control. I need a hand on it. Are we moving forward? I don't want to lose him. This is a valuable man. This is in high demand. There's competition out there. So your masculine starts getting all, and exactly what I coach my clients to work with is flowing inside of your feminine. None of that is your responsibility. Make yourself open. Be indirect and available. Doesn't mean sitting around. Go live your best life. Again, it's your picker. So he's a prospect. You're still on the dating market. But that's exactly my point. A mature, grounded, masculine man is going to snatch that up. True, mature, grounded, masculine energy, incredibly rare. True, flowing, soft femininity. Not the presentation, not a tight dress, not fumes, perfumes, and nails or any decorations of sort. Soft feminine energy, how you speak, how you carry yourself, feminine ways, being in tune with intuition. It's extremely rare. When a masculine man comes in contact with that, he is clear and direct. He goes for what he wants and will not leave any room for confusion, hesitation. He's going to go seize the day because that is masculine energy. Go initiate, go assert, go forward. We need to acquire, attain, go for what he wants. Now your picker is going to be fully listening because please, ladies, do not get confused. Do not get swept away in the emotion of that he will be enraptured in your beauty. He may be tied up in his own lust. Now, a mature, grounded, masculine man can let you know how he rolls, if this is going to be something casual or this is going to be something long term. It's not a conversation of putting out. It's not a conversation of whether or not there's sex. And in this market, honestly, sex is casual at this point. But the context is that he knows what he wants, so he can be direct and clear with his words and actions and demonstrate his intentions. He has no problem looking you in the eye and telling you, I care about you. I want to see what we can do. I want to see what we can create. Or you know what? In this season of life, you're amazing, fantastic. I wouldn't want to waste your time. I wouldn't want you held up. I don't want to hurt you. But you know what? Right now, I'm actually working on this over here. Right now, I've got this project going on. Right now, my lifestyle is non-monogamy. I'm actually entertaining ... Whatever the case is, but he is clear and direct. He gives you the choice to cast your vote because he's giving you all the information you need. He's shown and demonstrated his intention. So there is no confusion. Do you want to get on this ride? Do you want to cast your vote for his campaign? Before his train is leaving the station, best believe if he has interest, he will directly give you the opportunity. He will check that ticket, stamp you, load your bags, and toss you on board. But he's going to be direct on that because he is a mature, grounded, masculine man, and he knows what he wants. He will directly go forward. Now, what's next? He is valuable. I started this conversation earlier saying mature, grounded, masculine men. It's such a rare form. And of course, things that are rare are valuable. Now, again, I'm not talking about that high value man conversation. I'm not talking about anything about being brought to the table. He's valuable because everything he has built into himself, the skill sets he has picked up, the job, career, whatever he gives to the industry, whatever he gives to his community, whatever he gives to his religion, his spirituality, his family, the people around him, the friends, he has become valuable. Things that are valuable are sought after. His skills, his knowledge, his experience, everything that he has is of value. And with that, he's going to become in high demand. So is his time, his effort, his resources. They all become precious, just as valuable as he is. That means there is no room for confusion. There is no time for games. Time is money. And I don't just mean in the financial context. Time is the most valuable resource we can have. And as a mature, grounded, masculine man becomes valuable, his time is critical. So when he gives it, whether it is a text message, whether it is a phone call, whether it is a FaceTime, whether it is a date, if he's committing that time and energy to you, he has no games to play. And if he is not committing that time and energy to you, and he has not directly, we're going back to old stuff, communicated to you that this time will not be available, that I can't commit to doing that right now. These are the signs, ladies, of a mature, grounded, masculine man. I'm telling you all this because this is how you weed out the distractions. This is how you put down the boy toys, because if these things are not showing up, you are not dealing with a mature, grounded, masculine man. And it's okay. That's part of the game. As soon as you declare, I want this mature, grounded, masculine man, well, one, you've attracted in a line. This video came across your feed, and here you are getting the information to guide you through. But use the information inside of this video and start to filter. Start in your dating life to look for those things immediately, because guess what, ladies? You don't have time to waste at all. Like I talked about that biological clock, that's your value. That's something important to you. It's just as important to him. And that's why both of you, mature, grounded, masculine man, a woman flowing in their femininity, looking for that masculine leadership, y'all don't have time to waste. Let's get to it. Life is to be lived. He's going to be on that same page, so make sure you're ready for it as well. He's already leading. If you really look at not just what you think you like about men, but if you think about the mature, grounded, masculine man that you visualize as your ideal partner, the man that you want to follow, the man that you would be willing to submit to, the man that you cast your vote behind his campaign, his life values, his direction and purpose in life, and you want to partner yourself to that, that man is already leading his life. That is what attracts you, is that all of the decision making, all the independence, all the hard work, all the perseverance, dedication, resources, resourcefulness, everything that is involved in life, he as a man is already doing. Now, that doesn't mean to just vet out the ready-made man, to get to the finish line and be waiting with the pom-poms to cheer him on. Some men are going to build and develop that along the way, but these are the signs of it that you can be looking out for. And one of the key things, because we're talking about leading his own life, if he doesn't have a sense of self, if he hasn't gotten his shit together, that's not just finances, that's his purpose. What is he doing? Is he just aimlessly, haphazard, hasn't even found a career path? Because remember, one of the identifiers I was talking about earlier, that mature, grounded masculine is building into himself, making himself more valuable. Those are things you can very quickly recognize as soon as you get to know him. If that's not present, Neither is that mature, grounded masculinity. So the things to acknowledge is that this man, this MGM, mature, grounded, masculine man, is leading his life in solitude already. He's already building his empire. He already has his survival needs in place. He already has a mindset to leave a legacy. That's important biologically, simply for the fact that men don't develop that prefrontal cortex until 25, up into 30 even sometimes. So with that context, is he thinking family? Is he thinking legacy? Is he thinking, I'm going to build a career? You can be deceived by shiny glitz, glamour, right? People out here in the streets, he may be making a lot of things happen. He might have some long resources. It might come with some emotional highs of living a fast life. That doesn't show legacy. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Live by the sword, die by the sword. You know the phrase, and it's always true. If you're always looking over your shoulder, where's your peace? What are your children going to be brought up into? Those are the things that a man, a mature, grounded, masculine man, has to consider, is that my thoughts, actions, and behavior today will make a difference for my legacy, for my seed, for my woman, for my partner, for my community, for my family, for my very race and image, because I am a role model. How I hold my head, how I walk through life, my presentation, my communication, everything I do has weight. And this is what is on the shoulders of a mature, grounded, masculine man. He knows this because he has experience. That's why he's not frazzled. He knows this because he's perfectly fine to lead his life in solitude. He's already up to these things. He's already having an impact in the world. And even if he's not there, ladies, what I'm talking to is that mindset. His mature, grounded masculinity, if it's not in fruition, if you're looking at a young man, maybe this brother hasn't had time to get that. Remember, we got to start building brick by brick. But if you happen to go along your path and you happen to see a young man on that journey and he is steadily, consistently putting them bricks in line. And that's one of the misunderstandings today, because this is something that you have to pay close attention to. Because if you drive on your commute to work, your path, whatever you do in work every day, you might not notice how many bricks are getting stacked up over there on that construction site every day. It's just one day, voila, it's there. Have you seen the new so-and-so? Yeah, let's go over there, check out what they got. Stores, restaurants, and shops. But for the months you drove by, translate that to a man's life. The years you passed him by, you overlooked him because it wasn't shiny, because it wasn't pretty, because he wasn't at the finish line yet. See, I'm telling you the secret, because if you learn how to qualify these qualities in a man that isn't yet ready to pop out of the oven, because that's when the competition's at its peak. It's clear when the value is established, stamped. That's the gold standard, MGM. Like I said, he's got a black card at that point. You can do it. And I'm gonna give you those tips down at the back of this conversation at the end. And that's the steepest of the competition. If you can recognize this stuff up front, you can catch it on a discount. You can catch it just, early adopters, right? You can get in on the technology before it's ready, and you've already got it. So why do I say about that leading his own life, building an empire, leaving a legacy, impacting the world? Because this is hard, grinding work. Why is that important to you, ladies? Because I'll tell you something about that mature, grounded, masculine man is this puts a lot on his plate. And so that being said, if he's already doing good by himself, and honestly, mature, masculine, asserting his will in his life, he's doing damn great because he's living his own life as a man, writing his ticket, building himself to whatever he wants to be. He's doing phenomenal and fantastic. But with no room on the plate, he has no time for problems. So understand that you will get yourself dismissed, disqualified, cut out quicker than you even figure out what happened. So please recognize these traits. And when you know, I'm fucking with a real one, show up, put your best foot forward, build into that. It's not hard. This is natural, universal laws. You complement each other. And I'm gonna get to that. But the whole context is as soon as you recognize it, be ready to step up, because he's not going to stick around and he's not going to deal with too much bullshit. He doesn't have the time. This is the type of man that you want. So I'm telling you what his life is like so that you can actually understand the other side and bring it together and get this dance going. So the last thing that I'll tell you, and this is what I really want to get you, his kryptonite. You know he's got experience. You know he's valuable. You know he's working hard. He's independent. He's direct. And he is the gold standard. And integrity is everything in his world. So what do you get? The guy who has it all, he's craving peace. He wants to relax. He wants to rest. And this is what makes it a cyclical dance. Because if you give him that soft landing, Thought I was going to say something else, huh? When you give him that soft landing, he will appreciate you to the moon and back, and he will bring that motherfucker back for you, because that is everything that his world is not about. His world is about solitude, logic, pragmatic, no communications, no feelings, no emotions, hard work, grinding, discipline, all these rigorous, rigid forms. That's what makes him big and strong. And when you come around with that softness, when you can whisper in his ear softly, when you can communicate, show that you believe in him, that you look out for him, that you're down for him, that you're loyal to him, that is what he's craving. It's chocolate. You will melt him down like it's nothing when you lead with that peace, with that softness altogether. And what this channel is all about, that femininity to complement his masculine drive. You'll catch more fly guys with honey. So embrace and flow in your femininity. If you haven't already, go to the Stand store, pick up the free book, The Dance. We'll let you know all about this divine masculine and feminine, give you the basics so that you can at least start tuning in with your intuition to your divine feminine energy. It's no secret. Polarity, universal laws, is just simple attraction. If it's a mature, grounded, masculine man that you want, then you need to be free flowing, easy going with the flow of your feminine energy. With that polarity, doing nothing more, as long as you're compatible, of course, there's going to be attraction. You're going to get his attention. You won't have to work as hard if you're flowing in that feminine energy. That is what he wants. Some you probably heard about, passport bros, right? It's a whole epidemic. Some people like it, some people don't like it, pointing fingers, all that good stuff. If men are ready to go to another country because the women there are considered more feminine, you can take offense if you want. Cool, whatever, your choice. My invitation is to consider the game. How much more willing would that same man be if he's proven he's willing to drop coins, time, effort, energy, resources to alienate himself in a whole other side of the world to find this buried treasure of divine femininity? If you show him in his backyard, the old girl around the way has got it right here at home, of course he's willing to invest. Of course, he's direct. I already told you earlier, as soon as he sees that gold, he's on a beeline straight for you. Embrace and flow into your femininity. Take on the practice of understanding this work. That's why I suggest the book. It's free anyway. But the whole context is if you brush up these skills, and it's on both sides of the coin. I'm talking about divine masculine and feminine. When you understand your masculinity, this is where that goes. Because if you're holding down the masculine in the space, there's no room for his masculine. And we're talking about a mature, grounded, masculine man. So ladies, in the same way that you ain't got time for the distractions, the boy toys, because you're on your masculine, you got shit you want to accomplish, shit that you want to do. Stop wasting time over there. Tuck that down and go to the situation where your masculine's not needed. And I'm gonna get to that. That's exactly what we're laying down here. So let's go further about that. Being that we're talking about mature, grounded, masculine men, he knows he's of value. Now, that's a good thing. And I'm not going to put it as this high value thing that you need to work towards. But what I'm going to say is if he knows his value, like attracts like, ladies, know your value. Know and understand he's drawn and attracted to high quality feminine energy. So what does that mean for you? Embrace and flow in your femininity. And then you need to eliminate the low quality behavior that disqualifies you without warning. Because again, remember, high value, he's in demand, his plate is full, a lot of competition out there for his time, not just with the ladies, but with his life, his children, his legacy, his empire, whatever he's responsible for, his job, all of it. He ain't got time to waste. So as soon as he sees low value traits, you out of there. I saw her, I got an MO. She only about this, she only wants that. Or you know what, she's taking on some drama. He can detect all that from a mile away. Why? Because what's important? Femininity, peace, softness, quality. If you don't demonstrate these traits as soon as possible, again, he's going to have you disqualified and there will be no warning. He ain't got the words for it. He has no time to waste. It's on to the next. He's in demand. He's sought after. High competition. Hey, don't kill the messenger. I'm simply giving an invitation. You do what it is that you want. But how do you do that? Heal and clean up your energy. Start to do the work. This is going to be your energy, your communication, your limiting beliefs. I'll tell you this, how are you going to get a mature, grounded, masculine men, the MGM standard, if all men ain't shit? These limiting beliefs, this energy, your communication, how are you going to be a soft whisper in his ear if you can't stop talking direct, if you can't unplug and code switch out of the business mode that has you, maybe you got a career, maybe you're accomplished. I work with women like that all the time. That's my highest highest clientele that I'm working with are aspiring women, women who drive in their masculine, who hold it down, boss babes, taking over the boardroom and all that. But when you bring that home, when that direct affirmative energy, he wants partnership, not a hostile takeover. This is not a corporate environment whatsoever. He's looking for someone who wants to follow his lead. So you have to do the work first within yourself to heal, clean up those elements that are not going to make you a team player, that are not gonna, and I'm not talking about the 50-50 team because that is bullshit. I do not align with that. Someone's got to lead. These are universal principles, separated from sex, separated from gender, separated from roles. It's not about equality. We've always been equal, which is not the fucking same. So if you can respect those differences, someone leads, someone follows. What would you rather? Have a mature, grounded, masculine man step up and take the lead, take the pressure off, do all the things that you always want a real man to show up and do? Or do you want somebody waiting on 50-50? Do you want somebody waiting on you? Do you want somebody every hard, tough choice looking at you like, well, what you feel like? What you gonna do? Not to avoid taking in consideration your thoughts, your value, what's important, your best interest. That is what a leader does the work that nobody else wants to do on behalf of everyone else. So when he shows up mature, grounded, and masculine, ready to do those things because it's light work, because you bring value to his life, your feminine softness, your femininity, you have to be ready for that. So the other thing that you can do, next step here, to get what you want today, a mature, grounded, masculine man, and keep him in your life, is you've got to stop sabotaging, ladies. What ways are you doing that? You've got to eliminate the toxic parts of your life that no longer serve your future together. Now, that's very clear. You still want to be independent. You still want to be the boss babe. If you've got an empire to build your own goals and visions, go ahead and do that. But we're talking about, again, what I said, my feminine women looking to align with, attract, to submit and follow a mature, grounded, masculine man. Toxic behaviors won't serve you both. They're not going to build that future together. What does that look like? Friends that are not aligned for queenhood. I'm all for the fun, but at some point you got to be done, ladies. If your friends, in your heart of hearts, not on the same page. No, not me, girl. Ain't no man ever gonna tell me this, girl. And hey, it's not your fault. We're all products of the environment we come up in. There's generational traumas that have been passed down, especially on this shade. And with that, you have to be responsible for yourself, for your life, for your future. And if you're keeping the sisterhood around you, if you're keeping those who are not ready for queenhood, what do they call it? The jackals and the queens. There's some videos going around where, y'all are talking about each other. I'm not in it, so I ain't gonna call that out. And this is what it's talking about. Those friends that are all about the girls trip. Nothing wrong with vacation. Nothing wrong with good and wholesome. And we know what goes down on some of those trips. We know what goes down on some of those pallets out there in Jamaica, getting rubbed down from head to toe, all up in the cracks and crevices. We know what it is, ladies. And if you're still trying to play those games, you can kiss your chances with a mature, grounded, masculine man goodbye. It's your choice. This is just an invitation. He ain't got time for it. We've already covered those details. Let's keep moving so you can figure out how to get what you want. You have to stop sabotaging, eliminating these toxic parts of your life, your masculine traits. I touched on that a little. If you're going to hold the space with masculinity, there's no polarity. That's two goats on a mountain, butting heads. A man doesn't want competition. A man doesn't want to fight for your attention. He wants softness to relax. Everywhere in his life, he's got his shield, he's got his sword, and he's going to battle. And as a mature, grounded, masculine man, he wants to provide, protect, and cherish you behind his back, on his shoulders, the family, the children, the legacy. He wants to do all of that. But if he's got to battle you for control, disqualified. He's looking for submission. He's looking for you to follow, which means that you must trust his lead. If your masculine traits are showing up and you're ready to run things, if you're challenging his lead, now not voicing your opinion, not asking questions, And yes, there is a point where you just have to trust. You have to be willing to let the leader fuck it up. Take that and rest, because the pressure's not on you. But you have to let the leader go forward. You do that by showing trust, by casting your vote and aligning with what he says the plan is. Voice your opinion. Have a conversation. However, at the end of the day, once a decision is made, let him go that path. This is dual, right? You get to practice relaxing. You also get to practice to test the leadership. And I'm going to tell you later how that stacks up in the masculine world and where you can identify it early on in dating, so you don't waste your time building your life. You got to be responsible about this. And I'm going to give you all that. But understand that you are going to need to let go of some of this, because you're making room for something that's not there. You can't keep being you as you are single and expect that your future with a mature, grounded, masculine man is going to happen and you're going to be that same person you are right now. There's a reason you don't have that today. And so when you start to adopt and practice and develop some of these traits, that's where you're going to get what it is that you want and need to be happy in the long run. The other things you've got to stop sabotaging yourself with: situationships, the whole phase. Yeah, I'm going to call it out. And entertaining boy toys. Like I said, this is just an invitation. Don't kill the messer. You can enjoy your life, live your best life. But the hot girl summers, the reputation, the body count, the whole phase, all of it stacks up. Because what does a mature, grounded, masculine man value? If you're not worried about that, and I'm gonna tell you the secret on the inside, because some of you may be saying, some of the men, or there are men, or my ideal man, or the man that's for me is going to overlook this, is going to be okay with that. Yes, and possible. But do you want to cast the widest net and get the best quality? Or do you want to disqualify yourself with those short-term goals? If the boy toys, if the whole phase, situationship, the distractions, hot girl summer, if all of that fun is worth it to you and it sacrifices the quality of man that you can have in the future, that he's even going to look your way and consider. Now again, he's a mature, grounded, masculine man. That is a double-edged sword, because that also means he immediately knows where to place you in his life. You can be a great time for fun. And I'm not just talking about the sex. Maybe it's the feminine companionship. That has its benefit. But lifelong partnership, marriage, building a family, legacy, yes, he's keeping all those things in mind. Yes, he's aware of how that affects your femininity. Yes, ladies, your feminine energy. You see, as men, masculine is asserting all this energy out in the world. Feminine energy receives, is open to. So as you go through that fun and live your best life and do all that, you are receiving and opening masculine energy into your life. Biologically, genetically, all those other things, emotionally, energetically. You're taking that on. That is wear and tear. That is miles, that exposure. Those are things that a grounded masculine man does not value. And because he's got the experience, he won't, again, he'll classify you. He won't disqualify you as a human being, no doubt. Y'all can have fun together. He likes fun. He likes sex. Who doesn't? However, if you want him to take you seriously, which is what I said this conversation was about, that's in the back of his mind. We can get into the politics, we can get into the genetics and all the reasons of, but the thing is, if you want what you want, a mature, grounded, masculine man, you've got to let go how you feel about it, because that is who you want. If you want a woman, cool. If you want a feminine woman, or if you want a desperate and or feminine man who will not care about those things. It's the very phrase, cuckold. Now, fetishes aside, if that's your thing, no judgment. And the context, it is shown to be submissive. It is a demonstration of weakness. Now, I'm not talking about, because I am non-monogamous myself, I'm not talking about the actuality of whether or not someone's mature, insecure, inside of relationship. I'm simply speaking to the divine masculine and divine feminine energy. No mature, grounded, masculine man wants his feminine energy exposed, shared, readily available. He wants what is rare and valuable, because no different than him, he is rare and valuable. So if you give away, give up, freely exchange, devalue yourself in the eyes of that mature, grounded, masculine man on the sexual dating market, it's self-sabotage. Before you got started out the gates, you already disqualified yourself. The reputation, these are things that you can't control. When you're out in public and run into an old ex, when the reputation precedes you and he hears about you through hearing about you, These are the things that you have to keep in mind, because those are the things that prevent. Again, don't kill the messenger. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you how to play the game. Consider me a referee, if you will. Last thing you're going to do to stop sabotaging is to take responsibility for what doesn't work in your life and show up ready to do the work together. What this means is that you've got to have a sense of humility and malleable, meaning that yes, you can be shaped, molded, you're adaptable. Now that can be something of an offense for a lot of women. That can be challenging. Now again, a lot of women, but feminine women, that doesn't sound so bad. Because if you can take the pressure off of yourself, that this lead, this masculine energy is going to go forward and protect, put forward boundaries, contain my emotions, it would only make sense that I want to align with his beliefs. If I'm going to relax and trust his lead, I've got to trust what he's doing. In order to do that, I've got to be humble enough to show up knowing my shit can stink, that I don't have to be the best, that I don't have to have it all, that I'm not perfect, that if I'm looking for partnership, yin and yang of a dance, that I've got to be ready to do the work, to communicate, to compromise, to sacrifice, to be ready to build something together. You are shooting yourself in the foot if you cannot admit fault, if you cannot apologize, if you cannot admit a mistake, an error, say I'm sorry. These are human things. This is relationship stuff. This has nothing to do with you as a person. I'm not attacking you. Don't kill the messenger. This is purely an invitation. Next thing you've got to do is prepare your life for partnership. Start thinking about your future together and let go of the single life. I've been talking about that in a way, but I want to directly call it out. Your independence, your schedule, your preferences, and even down to your space. Is there room for him? Are you sleeping on a twin bed? Or is there room for a king size so you can have somebody to roll over, toss around, however y'all get down. Hey, we ain't gonna get X-rated. But the whole context, you've got to have your life prepared for partnership. If you're not prepared for that, how can you be ready for a mature, grounded, masculine man? I can tell you all the things that you need to know, but how are you going to be ready if when it shows up, you have no room in your life? You like things how you like things. So how are you going to follow a lead? How are you going to have a partner in your life if you're not willing to change anything in your life? So this is the preparation I'm giving you in advance. If you like your independence, if you don't want to answer to anyone, you don't want to be accountable to anyone, you don't want to check in with anyone, you don't want to communicate and let somebody know, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what's happening next. This is what my life is looking like. I'm traveling. This is my availability. If you don't want to take all those things into consideration, if it's a problem, if it's stifling you, if it's controlling you, well, yes. How do you want a mature, grounded, masculine man to show up and own space for you? As a mature, grounded, masculine man, I own that the feminine in my life, the women and children in my life are respected. They're honored. They're protected. They are happy, they are joyful, they are loved, they are expanded, they are seen, they are loved, they are poured into. I own that shit. That is my responsibility over here. And if you want a mature, grounded, masculine man to show up and give you that, you cannot be so independent that you have no room for it, that you can't listen to it, that there's no space in your life to do anything but your preferences the way you can go ahead and lead your own life. This is what that bucking looks like. I've had plenty of relationships, plenty of women that you don't have to be insubordinate. You don't have to be cussing them out to the high hills. You don't have to be, looking any type of way. It's all about whether or not you can comply. It's all about whether or not you can cooperate, submit, follow. If you've got your way going, you've tuned into the wrong live. Again, this is for my feminine ladies looking to attract, align, get the loyalty and commitment of a mature, grounded, masculine man. And another breakdown I'll give you is that his masculine energy is evaluating compatibility. He does that through projects. So as the couple activities start piling up, keep that in the back of your mind. This isn't just a fun experience for him, right? Could be dates, couples activities, shopping, trips, relationship escalation. He's looking at every little project y'all do together. How do we work together for time? Do we work? He's responsible for the macro. That's what mature, grounded masculinity has to tend to. So with that, he's going to be looking at how you do things together. And every project, hey, this wasn't bad. Hey, we went on a vacation. We had a little staycation. We went to a hotel. Hey, we went on a date. We planned it and coordinated a couple of things. How do we work together? Are there breakdowns in communication? When a problem comes up, do we get stressed? Does she get triggered? Can she follow my lead? He's evaluating all this for the compatibility. So this is where it's most important that you put your best foot forward. And the very last piece, ladies, if everything I've spoken to tells you anything, this is going to be the kicker. If you want to embrace in your femininity, be a divinely feminine woman to attract a mature, grounded, masculine man, what you're going to need to do is to give up the lead. You knew it was coming. Come on. If you want him to lead, you have to give that up. If you want a leader, you have to submit and follow. I keep ringing this home, and I say this, ladies, because again, as a product of the environment that has been created, and I say that on the other side of the coin as a product, raised by a single mother, latchkey child, father not in my life, and even the men present in my life, not necessarily hand on my back guidance. I say that because on the other side of that, fathers, healthy, mature, grounded, masculine role models have been just as much a missing for you ladies as it has been for us men. See, we got to bridge the gap, tear down the fence. I'm not trying to push the blame over onto the other side. I want us all to win together. And if you understand that mature, grounded, masculine men, the gold standard of that has not been available, that means that you have to be humble enough to accept that you haven't necessarily. There are outliers. This isn't everyone. And you have to really audit for yourself. Have you been prepared for that? Have you been exposed to mature, grounded, masculine men so that you can identify the things that I'm pointing out? Have you seen feminine women embracing and flowing in femininity that complement that masculine such that he stuck around, such that there was love, such that there's compatibility, such that there's a fiery, hot relationship? That dance of yin and yang is some sexy shit, I'm telling you. Have you had an example of that? Have you been exposed to that? Have you ever seen it? Do you know what it looks like? Because a lot of these challenges and things that are in the way, this is what my work does, working with clients, is because we're unlearning all the shit in the way of what you actually want. And so if you can't give up the lead, if your hand is so tightly gripped on the wheel, how can you ever expect a mature, grounded, masculine man to show up? There's no room for him. How can you expect him to lead if you don't know how to follow? If you're unwilling to submit, you're going to have to practice responsibly giving your trust. I say responsibly because not every boo-boo to fool, remember, it's not just a penis, but not every male that shows up in your life gets that MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine man. And if he doesn't show up demonstrating and displaying what it is that you need to see to know the type of man that he is, don't give away that trust. However, you need to be willing to exercise. Let him figure out the date. Let him initiate on his time, because here's the other side. When you relax and flow in your feminine and just be with, he's not showing up yet. No, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means he's not the mature, grounded, masculine man for you. He doesn't see your value. Now, you can do everything on your part so that your value is intact, so that you're ready to follow, that you're ready for partnership, you're prepared for all that, you're flowing in your femininity. And you'll know, because when you have an abundance, a Rolodex, when you have the access and options of mature, grounded, masculine men, because they're going to be attracted to femininity. They will show up direct, leaving no questions or confusion. They'll go for what they want. And when that happens, you know you're doing something right. So stay the course with that and allow them to show up and show and prove. This is the way. You don't have to nag, finger, blame, complain, any of that. Mature, grounded, masculine, he's up for the challenge. I see what I want and I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified. You're not feeling me. Oh, ante up. You ain't seen nothing. Let's go. What's up? This is masculine energy, ladies. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what we are about. And in all of my clients, the first thing I can tell you is that feminine has no responsibility. Just neglect. Pull back. Withdraw your feminine energy. That's your value. That vote. When you stop giving him the attention, when you stop giving him the praise, when you stop giving him the intimacy, the softness, stop giving him access. Again, no different than giving it to the wrong man that devalues you. Giving it to any and every man still devalues you, because the value is shown forth when they have to show up and show improvement. This don't mean paying for a first date. This means clear, direct intention. This means prioritizing you. This means valuing you. This means putting in the work to earn access to you. And if you make them work for that, sit back and relax if they're not showing up right. You got nothing to do. You're going to have it your way and get what it is that you want, because the right, grounded, masculine man is going to be clear, going to be direct, know what he wants, go for you, and then show you his way of life, show you how he leads life, and open a dialogue for you two to work together to build projects and partnership. And the relationship escalates to build the life that you want. And it's just that simple, ladies.